last S. PASS. It's an acronym. You should be remembering very easily password. Now let us see about the distribution and location of this portable fire extinguisher. How many should be there, where they should be as per SOLAS. Now ships of 1000 GT and above must have at least 5 portable extinguishers. Obviously, the actual number will depend on the size of the ship. Carbon dioxide fire extinguishers are not quite allowed in the accommodation for the simple reason that it would cause asphyxiation if anybody uses it in the accommodation. Accommodation is an enclosed space. You use CO2, it will displace all the oxygen and the person who is operating it may get asphyxiated. In control room and other spaces, let me shorten this big paragraph, that is bridge, engine control room, fire control station, cargo control room. These are the 4 places which contain sensitive electrical and electronic equipment. And SOLAS says we should use a suitable extinguishing medium to be kept here. And we saw that for electrical fires, we had 2 options. One was dry chemical powder, the other was CO2. And I also told you that dry chemical powder is harmful for electronic circuitry. And here we see all these spaces, all the 4 spaces which I just mentioned, they have got sensitive electronic equipment. So the only option we have for these 4 spaces is CO2 extinguishers. CO2 not allowed in the accommodation, but these 4 places we must have CO2 extinguisher because that's the ideal for these spaces. Now, as I said that on board we have the cartridge type of portable extinguishers because they can be recharged on board. So how many spare recharges must be kept on board? How many spare recharges? It must be 100% for the first 10 and 50% for the remaining. Of course, we have to calculate this for each different type of extinguisher. For foam, this much. For DCP, this much. For water, this much. And if you see the last line, capable of being recharged on board. And we saw that only cartridge type extinguishers are capable of being recharged on board. But then you will ask me, sir, but we have only cartridge type. That's what you said. Is it really? What about the CO2 extinguisher? It's not a cartridge type. It's a stored pressure type. The CO2 is stored in the cylinder, not in any cartridge. So for a CO2 cylinder extinguisher on board or a stored pressure type, we must have complete extinguisher as spare in the same ratio. Complete extinguisher. We must have complete CO2 extinguisher filled up and kept as spare in the same ratio. 100% for the first 10, 50% for the remaining. And there is a relaxation. No more than 60 spare charges need to be kept on board. You need not keep. Even if your ship requires 100, you may not keep. You may keep 100, but you can keep 60 and that would be okay legally. Machinery spaces of category A. You will be coming through this term when you prepare for your exams. Machinery space of category A, this and that. Let us see what's the machinery space of category A. Now, machinery space of category A is an engine room where you have a main propulsion as an IC engine and a diesel generator, or for power generation also a IC engine, or you have a oil fired boiler or fuel unit, or you have a oil fired boiler. So you have either these two together. Of course, the alternator power plant must be more than 375 kilowatt, or you may have a oil fired boiler. So even if we don't have these two, we have a oil fired boiler then the main propulsion and the power generation obviously would be steam turbines. So that is what would be termed as a category A machinery space. Now my question is, food for thought, can there be anything other than a category A machinery space? That is, can we have a machinery space which does not have a main propulsion IC engine, nor does it have the power generation as IC engine, and nor does it have any oil fired boiler? If we had an oil fired boiler, we could have steam turbines here, but it doesn't have an oil fired boiler also. Can we have such a machinery space? Food for thought. Think about it. If you think you have the answer, please write in the comment section of this video. Additional fire extinguishing arrangement in category A machinery space. So the category A machinery space must contain one of the fixed firefighting system, CO2 or foam, and additionally hypermist system. CO2 or foam must be there, and additional supporting system, hypermist, must be there. And there shall be at least one portable foam applicator unit complying with the Fire Safety System Code or FSS code. I'll just show you a picture of a portable foam applicator. This is a picture of a foam applicator. This end is attached by a fire hose to the hydrant. There's a venturi out here which is connected by a plastic tube into a 20-liter jerry can of foam concentrate. When the fire water is opened up, water comes, generates vacuum, the foam concentrate is pulled in or sucked in, the foam solution goes, passes through a proportionator which will suck in the required amount of air to generate the foam, be it high expansion, low expansion, or medium expansion foam. Let us see some technical details about this. It consists of a nozzle of an inductor type together with a jerry can of 20-liter foam concentrate and one spare tank of foam making liquid. And the rate of foam generation must be at least at the rate of 200 liters per minute. And additionally, there must be at least one 45-liter foam extinguisher. It's a wheeled extinguisher, semi-portable. You cannot carry it like a portable extinguisher, but you can wheel it from one place to the other. And this is for fighting fire in the engine room, in the pressurized fuel oil system or lube oil system. And finally, we come to the ubiquitous 9-liter foam extinguisher in the machinery space. How many are required and what should be their location? Yes, you might be thinking, my God, it must be a very complex rule. Absolutely not. It is really very simple. Any spot in the engine room must not be more than 10-meter walking distance away from the nearest 9-liter foam extinguisher. That's the rule. Simple rule. And the main catch is walking distance, not a straight distance. So wherever you are in an engine room, the nearest 9-liter foam should not be more than 10 meters away. And that dictates both how many are required and what should be the location. Let us come to fire hose. Because water is the most common medium on board, firefighting medium. Let us see the requirements for a fire hose. Fire hoses shall have a length of at least 10 meters, minimum 10 meters, at least 10 meters. And in the engine room, it cannot be more than 15 meters. Longer the hose, it would be difficult to handle in restricted space like the machinery space. So minimum 10, maximum 15. But on deck and other places, the length is allowed up to 20 meters. And for ships whose width is more than 30 meters, The maximum length of the hose is allowed till 25 meters. So this is the, or these are the requirements for a fire hose. This is the minimum length and these are the maximum lengths depending on the where it is used. Fire main must have isolation valve. The only isolation valve that is required on a non-tanker ship is isolation valve, which would separate the fire main within the engine room, which contains the main fire pumps. And obviously the isolation valve must be fitted outside the engine room. Because in case there is a fire in the engine room, the fire line would get damaged and we start the emergency fire pump to supply water to the deck or to the accommodation. Most of the water would leak out through the damaged fire line in the engine room which is on fire. So we need to isolate the machinery space fire line so that we get full pressure on the deck or in the accommodation where there might be another fire. But on a tanker on deck, extra isolation valves are required at every 40-meter length. Obviously, this is to save the integrity of the fireman system in case of fire or explosion on deck. If part of the fire line explodes, then you can isolate that portion and keep fighting the fire. Number of hoses. What are the number of hoses required? For passenger ship, every hydrant must have a hose. For cargo ships, the rule is little lax. Cargo ships, we need a fire hose for every 30-meter length of the ship plus one spare. But the total cannot be less than 5. Let's take an example. Let us say there is a ship 90 meters long. So every 30 meters, there must be a hose which makes it 3 plus 1 spare, which makes the requirement as 4. We cannot have this because SOLAS says we must have at least 5. Is it clear? Let us take another example where a ship is 180 meters long. So every 30 meters you have a hose that would give 6 plus 1 spare. Total requirement is 7, which is quite okay because it is more than 5. So this is the simple calculation for the number of hoses required to be kept on board. And ships carrying dangerous goods must carry 3 additional fire hoses. Additional, whatever is required as per this paragraph, in addition 3 more. Okay, gentlemen, that's the end of this episode of firefighting. I shall be coming back with more such interesting, but however, remember that the best way to fight a fire is to prevent it. Do not let the fire happen, and that would be what is expected of you on board. Do not let a fire happen, and that would be the best method of fighting a fire. Thank you and have a nice day.